Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. With the launch of Modern Warfare 3, we finally, at long last, got another update to the anti-cheat. Obviously, this is a major ongoing conversation within Call of Duty, whether you're playing multiplayer or Warzone or in the past DMZ as well. The cheating, the hacking, the aimbot, the walls, whatever the case may be. There's a significant cheating problem in Call of Duty. There has been since Warzone dropped early. There probably still will be for some time. But as of now, we do have a new Ricochet update, a new anti-cheat update, and they also address some major things in their post about this as well. So as we get into the details today, if you enjoy the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it. It would be really appreciated, and it does really help the channel grow. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee every single day you are up to date with the latest going on between MW3 and Warzone, whether it's news, updates, meta breakdowns, you name it, it's going to be right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. But with this new anti-cheat update, we got this blog from Call of Duty and the Ricochet team: anti-cheat progress report, launch readiness, machine learning, and new features. So as we get into this, they go through and detail a lot of different stuff. So initially, we've got the machine learning in combination with client and server-side systems that continue to evolve and grow, helps advance both the speed and accuracy of our prevention techniques and detection systems. So machine learning advancements have been integrated into our tech to help with efficiency and speed in prevention, detection, and removal of cheaters. So essentially, it's going to be easier to stop people from getting cheats in the first place. It'll detect cheats faster, and it'll get the cheaters out more efficiently is the ideal goal. Is that going to actually happen in application? We're going to have to wait and see. Obviously, Ricochet has been very flawed for a long time. Machine learning advancements enhance our team's ability by examining client and server data to find new cheat behaviors, issuing account challenges to validate abnormal behavior, collecting and collating problem accounts for action. So in short, machine learning helps us anticipate behavior better and operate with more effectiveness, with our team validating for accuracy. So all those bans, I guess they're manually enforcing is what they're saying there with the validation, but the detections are obviously picked up by their machine learning, and then they go through and see what exactly is going on there. It also helps enhance existing tools. One example of how we're using machine learning to accelerate our anti-cheat capabilities is with the replay tool. So machine learning times the replay investigation tool. Earlier this year, we announced a replay investigation tool that captured gameplay data so it could be converted into video internally, allowing our teams to review player matches for problem behaviors. So they'd be able to see, okay, XX sniper guy over here is using a, let's say, for instance, the Imperium, for example, and he's running around and he is no scoping and getting 5 headshots in a row, instantly knocking everyone, and then he throws a throwing knife straight up and it hits right away because he's aimbotting, right? He's never gonna miss. They're gonna be able to go and see, okay, clearly this guy's gameplay behavior is not normal whatsoever. Or they can, follow somebody around who is constantly pre-aiming everyone through walls. If that player gets reported for cheats and they're like, well, his accuracy isn't great, but he's getting a lot of kills, maybe this player is doing something else, and they see, okay, he's clearly following this player running through a wall or running through a different street, and they're waiting until they peek, and then they just know exactly where they are at all times, right? So on average, Team Ricochet teammates could review somewhere in the ballpark of 700 replay clips in any given day. Some clips are easy. The most egregious rage hacking is simple to spot, and that's like the obvious aimbotting or spin botting and stuff like that. And that's helpful to identify hackers who use tools to give them a slight advantage that was harder to spot in game, such as wall hacks as well. So it's just basically, again, as they said earlier, validating what's going on there. For the launch of MW3 and across all titles protected by Ricochet, which is all CODs moving forward, and then obviously MW2 and MW 2019 a bit, I believe. Team Ricochet is activating machine learning processes to increase the efficiency and strength of our anti-cheat efforts. For the replay investigation tool, a machine learning model is trained to identify suspicious behavior like wall hacks or raging, plus many others, and immediately prioritizes and alerts the team to review the issue for the account action. A single PC running the model can review up to 1,000 clips per day, so it's basically just making it more efficient in the long run there. A major focus for this and many advancements is ranked play across our titles, so they do want to have a big emphasis on keeping ranked play as cheater-free as possible. Hopefully that actually is a step forward, because objectively, ranked play for the past couple of seasons, even in multiplayer of MW2 and especially in Warzone, has been just riddled with hackers. I can't imagine buying a Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, spending money on that, and then spending money on cheats just to know you're eventually going to get banned. Like, that's a massive waste of money. Think of the Wendy's 444s you could, obtain with that amount of money. just a ridiculous you know, thought process there. I'll never understand it, but it's nice that ranked play obviously is, you know, a major focus there, and obviously pubs are as well, just to emphasize that they're not just saying, okay, let's get the cheaters out of ranked. They're doing it across the board, but obviously in a competitive mode, cheaters are going to have, you know, a much more significant impact on the long term there, so that's a focus as well. They also say hello to Splat. Often when a cheater appears in a match, they are immediately kicked from the experience, and it'll say like Ricochet in the bottom left of the kill feed. Sometimes, as we've discussed in the past, we issue mitigations, and this is them trolling the cheaters, but really it's them monitoring the cheater's system so they can gain all the information off that cheater system and say, okay, this is the cheat that was injected, and now we know about this, that, and whatever else. So while it does look like, okay, they're just messing with this cheater, why don't they just straight up ban them? They do, but first they collect all the data they need so that they can potentially prevent it in the future. Obviously it doesn't work flawlessly, but it's a system that exists, and that's the end goal there. So we know that there's the cloaking, which makes enemies invisible, or the damage shield that makes you know, cheaters do no damage whatsoever, and that'll exist in multiplayer in Warzone if a cheater is caught and, you know, targeted with that. While we hesitate to call it an in-game mitigation because it's obvious when it happens, we've developed a new trick for cheaters going forward in Warzone. We call it Splat. With Splat, if a cheater is discovered, we may randomly and for fun, that's pretty funny that they do say that, disable their parachute, sending them into the ground after they deploy. But what if we catch them after they've deployed? Well, Splat can also adjust player velocity, which transforms a bunny hop into a 10,000-foot drop, taking them out instantly. This is one of the new tricks developed, and we'll talk more about it in the future. So this one absolutely is them trolling the cheater. The cheater will be banned the second that they do end up dying, and they're not going to have any impact on games. But it is hilarious that these are going on in games so that they can mess with the cheater while they're collecting the information there. It won't randomly turn on for a player that isn't verified to be cheating, so no one's going to experience this unless the system confirms you have hacks installed. Player reporting is not going to turn that on, and the game cannot accidentally activate that. We'll have to see if that fully stands true. I'm gonna be curious if we see some clips surface on Reddit or Twitter of a random, you know, XX sniper guy who's not cheating randomly appear 10,000 feet in the air. It would be hilarious to see, but hopefully it doesn't cause any issues there and it does work as intended. Now, here's what is very important in this anti-cheat blog. They finally address maybe the most flawed aspect of the anti-cheat, and that is the report system. As you guys know, the shadow ban loop in the spam report system is super broken. You can spam report a player who is doing nothing wrong, and they'll get flagged and potentially go into a shadow ban loop where their account goes under review. They don't get banned, but they're under review, and it's super broken, and it really does hurt normal players who are not doing anything wrong. Now, spam reports and the report system can work in favor of things at times. If a player is being super toxic, or if there is suspicious you know, things going on, it could work to their advantage, but a lot of the time it's just abused. How we use player reporting. A common misconception we see is that spam reporting will result in actions being taken against accounts, but I don't think it's a misconception because we've seen spam reports clearly block players who are doing nothing. For clarity, whether one player reports another once or multiple times, our system only considers the first report, throttling any additional reports from that player. So if you are trying to report someone in game and you're trying to, you know, spam report them so they get kicked or whatever, if you report them 7 times, it doesn't matter. They're saying only the first time you report them matters. My concern here, though, is that if you're playing with a party, and oftentimes a lot of players are, that's where the spam report system is super flawed. Say you have a party of 3 or 4 players and you're like, okay, this guy in the other team, we're spam reporting him. All 4 of you spam report him right away. That's 4 reports instantaneously. The system's probably going to say, wait, a whole team just flagged this guy and reported this guy. Is something going on? That's personally where I feel like the flaw comes from. The spam reports on individuals, it could be really bad if you're going up against a group. Reporting is critical, must be used in combination with other factors before account is actioned on. An account, for example, cannot be banned due to only reporting, but if that account has also triggered one or other multiple detections, a report can raise a red flag. So that's why the under review process happens, I guess. A reminder that spam reporting may be considered in violation of the updated policies as well. So if you are spam reporting an account, if you're trying to report somebody 8 times in a row in hopes that you can get them shadow banned, you might end up getting yourself shadow banned because they'll see that you reported the player 8 times, but only the first report functions as, you know, the warning system for the other player's account, I guess. So they have multiple different things they can view there and take into consideration when reviewing an account. As players of our own game and other online multiplayer experiences, we too are disrupted by the cheating issues. Our team is dedicated to using everything and stopping cheaters as best we can. It's a continuous battle. You know, they update the anti-cheat, cheaters are gone for a bit, the cheat developers update their cheats, then the anti-cheat sucks, and it's just back and forth. But it's nice to see that they did actually finally address the spam report issue. They don't really say, hey, it's been busted for a long time, we're fixing it, but they recognize that a lot of players are concerned about this problem. So it's nice to actually see some transparency with this, although I don't feel like the system still is fully working as intended. So if we see any updates in the future, any more communication in regards to what's going on with the anti-cheat, any new mitigations like Splat or other updates, you guys know I'm gonna have you covered with that alongside everything else going on in the world of COD. So if you want to stay up to date with all that stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. And if you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.